Tonight's Day in History is part of the We the People series happening all year long, would see the first convening of the predecessor group to the U.S. Congress. September 5th, 1774, the first session of the Continental Congress was held at Carpenter's Hall in Philadelphia. 56 delegates from all of the colonies except Georgia would go on to draft a Declaration of Rights and Grievances in response to the British Parliament's enactment of the Conversion Acts in American colonies.